everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and today I'm here with a post review of one of my recently completed diamond painting kits. In these post review videos, I like to share with you a project that I've completed and take you through just my experience of working with it, the things that I enjoyed or any difficulties that I ran into, and hopefully give you a really good look at the kit so that you can decide if this exact kit is something you would like to shop for, or if you just want to check out the shop that this kit is from, because hopefully this will still give you a sense for what that shop has to offer and what their strengths and weaknesses are. So the kit I'm going to be sharing with you today is called Pumpkitten Spice and is from Enablers Outpost. The artist is Kitten. Let me see, is it Purple Kitten Studios? Yes, Purple Kitten Studios. And how much does that name just suit this artwork even? But I just completed this kit less than a week ago for Drills and Chills, which is a fall and Halloween diamond painting themed event that I co-host. And I just thought that this was way, way too adorable to pass up. It's just so, so incredibly cute. So I have my logbook here where I track various things about my diamond painting kits. I write down things like what the size was, the colors, the drill shape, my start and end date. So you can see I started this at the very end of September and finished it within a week at the beginning of, ish of October. It's my 37th finish this year. I forgot to write down a confetti rating. I don't have a pen handy, but I think, just a quick refresher on my memory. Confetti wise, I think I would give this, like a 3 out of 10. It's not confetti heavy in my opinion at all, but there's a few spots that do have some confetti. So imagine that I've written 3 out of 10 there. And then enjoyment, a 9 out of 10. Oh my gosh, did I enjoy this kit a lot. Here's the original artwork if you'd like to take a look. And if you look at it compared to the diamond painting, isn't that so good? Oh my gosh, I think it's absolutely adorable. And then I also have the drills here, which we'll take a closer look at those in just a little bit. First, let me show you a little bit more of the canvas. Shift that out of the way. And there you can see mostly the whole thing there. So there is that. Now, something that I do want to note right out the gate is that this was a new release from Enablers Outpost here. This video is going up in the fall of 2024. And this was one of their new releases for this fall. And it features a number of upgrades and changes that they have made. And spoiler alert, I'm so here for it. I was blown away. These changes have taken Enablers Outpost to the next level, in my opinion. I just think that they did a stellar job with this kit, and that the work they've been putting into making these changes has really paid off. I do want to let you know that they did send this kit to me. They asked if I wanted to unbox one of their new fall releases this year, and they actually sent me 2 kits. I haven't unboxed the other one yet, so please stay tuned. Now, they didn't ask me to work on this, but I really wanted to. It had been a little bit since I'd worked on an Enablers Outpost kit, and I was really, really curious to see what this would be like to work on because I had been following their socials and seen the changes that they were talking about making. I had seen the renderings, the digital renderings that they'd been putting up on their website and on their socials, and so I was so intrigued because if you're looking at this and you're noticing, there's a lot of really nice, kind of distinct and clean lines in this kit. And that is because Enablers Outpost has now started really doing a lot of hand charting to their kits. I don't know what extent of it is hand charted, but in my experience just with working on it, it felt very, very hand charted. Like someone had really spent some time on this, and it's so clean. It looks incredible. The level of details and the blending I thought were really, really lovely. Now, I always tend to talk about rendering the most and right up front because that is one of the most important things to me personally when it comes to diamond paintings. I'm not someone that wants to have to go in and fix up rendering things that I don't like or that I think look messy or problematic, and so that's why you're hearing me talk about that right off the bat. And I also thought that the square drill quality was amazing. So when I started working on this kit, I started down here in the bottom left corner. I opened up this section, and as soon as I started working on it and placing some of these drills, just again color blocking, multi-placing, started laying down these square drills, my jaw was on the floor. I'm exaggerating a tiny bit, but honestly, as soon as I opened it up, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. Like the drills were fitting up really nicely together. I'll show you up close. There's like a tiny amount of gapping, but it's negligible. It's really just messy multi-placing on my part, if we're being honest here. It just, you can see how good that looks, right? I'm like, I need to go back and straighten this up. I thought this was amazing. And the drills were just fitting up so nicely together. It was really easy to multi-place with. And I'm getting into here and I'm like, ooh, look at these special drills. This is something else that I noted that I really loved in this kit. I thought that some of the enhancement drills they added were really nice, especially this light green one, which is in parts of the grass and a little bit of greenery like in the pumpkins, like the pumpkin leaves. I think there's some up here too. Yeah, in the stem of the pumpkin and that little vine coming off the pumpkin. That's my favorite kind of special drill, is that kind of light dusted drill. There is also a white fairy dust, which is, you can see it kind of in the cat's ears, that little extra bit of glimmer there. And there's some of that kind of sprinkled in the, like, oh, sorry to bump the camera, sprinkled here in the cat's back. There's some on the top of this pumpkin. So the white one was still really nice, but the green one was my favorite. I like the clarity of the pumpkin on the cat's forehead. There's part of me that was like, maybe like just a tiny bit maybe more distinct. I don't know if the color orange exists. This still does stand out, especially like looking through the camera. It's really clear that it's our kitty has a pumpkin on its forehead. And then I thought that the rainbow in the background was so beautifully done. So beautifully done. And again, tons of color blocking up there. just oodles of it. As far as things like when I'm thinking about things that I want to sort of check on and think, okay, what do I think of these with the manufacturer or process or product change, however this looked. I don't know exactly. I don't remember if they said like, oh, they changed manufacturers, so they just changed something about the products. I don't want to misspeak here. I'm just going to say there are changes, period. So things like the canvas material is this kind of that short lint, soft lint kind of backing. It's floppy. You could kind of see as I was trying to show it to you. It's floppy, but it does have a little bit of sturdiness to it, and it's like laying flat well. It's holding the drills really well. The poured glue on the canvas is nice quality. My drills aren't falling off. I'm not running into any issues with that. I didn't have any trouble reading the symbols on the canvas. They were printed really clearly. Here's a sense of what the symbols on the canvas were, as well as a look at all my leftover drills and all the colors that were in this kit. So you can see I had plenty left over in all colors. I wasn't totally sure. I was a little bit nervous when I was working on some of these background areas that had huge chunks of some colors. Like for example, this letter F is this pinky color that's at the top corners, that darker pink. And this one, I just was not 100% sure. I'm not always the best. I'm not the best at gauging it too far ahead of time. So I was like, I'm worried I'm going to run out. And so once I got towards the end of the kit and I was kind of getting towards the end of, the drill colors and had gotten through a lot of them, I did find myself running into a little bit of trash with a few colors, including actually this dark pink one. I don't know if you'll be able to see any in here necessarily. You can see there's a few in there that have little bits sticking off the side. There's like one there, actually a few there you can see with little pinprick holes in the top that I didn't use. But I was a little bit nervous to pull those out because I thought if I run out of a color, I really just lazy me. I don't want to wait for them to send replacements, though I'm sure they would. And so there's a couple of drills here and there that I placed that do have like a pinprick in the top or something like that because I just didn't want to risk running out of a color. But seeing this here at the end, like with this color among others, I really don't think I was going to run out of a color. If you're noticing the little squares in here, by the way, that is cut up dryer sheet because there was some static with these drills. But honestly, I run into static with my diamonds like 9 out of 10 times, in part because really all the kits I'm working on are not all, but the vast majority of them are using resin squares, which resin being the material that these are made out of, as opposed to acrylic squares. And resin itself, there's something about the material that it just makes it really static prone, especially when you put it in plastic baggies. So it's just not something that I hold against a company, but I do note it. I think it's also highly climate dependent, and my climate, whatever, I run into static with most of my kits, so I'm ready for it. I was initially saving my trash drills in here, and then I kind of stopped pulling them, or I had them in like a separate little like trash thing at some point, but had that. I'm especially glad to see that I have plenty of these special drills left over. This is that glimmer. I don't remember what they call these. Every company has kind of a different name for them, but they're the ones with that fine glitter coating on the top. It's my favorite special drill. I'll save those for, I don't know, a rainy day. But yeah, so that was overall just the positives, the things I really liked about working on this kit. As far as if I had any kind of negatives to say, it's pretty minor. It includes things like there were a couple of colors that were kind of trash prone that I had to do some picking around, but the vast majority of this kit, as I was working on it, I was like, these squares are some of the best squares I've ever worked with. They're lining up so nicely. There is so little trash, and they just look so good down. They look so nice, you guys. Look at that like line of shine going across there. I love it. One other thing that I did notice is that even though I feel like this has obviously had, in my opinion, it looks like it's had a lot of human touch to it, a lot of cleaning up to make this a very clean kit. There's a few spots that I just thought, I wonder if this was maybe sort of just left to be more like computer charted, or just left to be a little bit more confetti heavy. This is not really a criticism because I still think it looks gorgeous. This is just something I'm noticing and just thought I would mention it. But so for example, like, there's actually a good amount of confetti in these white spots in the cat's back, and there were a couple of spots in this kit. This is one example. This is me being so unbelievably nitpicky, but there were a couple of spots like this one right here, and there's one that I did replace at the top of the canvas where it looked like there was just a symbol that maybe in being hand touched up or hand rendered that they hadn't gone in and like removed that. They just kind of left that bit of confetti and it stood out a little bit more. There's some lighter confetti around like the edges here, like inside the dark, distinct, clean line. But you know what? I don't mind it because I don't mind that it's softer. This is me noticing, because so much of this is really, really clean, being like, oh, this is a little different. The other spot, there was a spot in the midst of this pink that had, I should actually send this over to Enablers Outpost because they know, because I was pretty confident it was an error. It had a completely different color. Yeah, it had like, there was one dot in the midst of right here that was this dark, this like brown color. And I just was like, no, I'm making that all pink. I'm not putting that random brown color down. So just a couple of tiny things, but I also don't think that Enablers Outpost needs to like freak out and like bend over backwards to like touch up these couple of things, but it certainly, it doesn't hurt, and it absolutely would not stop me from recommending this kit or from buying from them again, especially these kits that have seen these changes and upgrades. I'm looking at this both in person and through the camera lens, and I just am so happy with this kit. It was so enjoyable to work on. It obviously worked up really quickly if you're looking at those dates I showed you, starting on September 30th, finishing on October 5th. It just went really fast, and it's not that I was rushing. It is on the smaller side, 50 by 50 centimeters, and with all of that color block background, it went really fast, and I just found myself so happy working on it. Even where sometimes with some kits, will get bored with a background that doesn't have a lot going on. I loved the colors in this so much, and it was so easy to breeze through those backgrounds that I didn't find myself minding it at all. And then watching this white pumpkin actually might be my favorite of the pumpkins. I just think that the colors and the shading in it are so nice. Can I have this pumpkin as a decoration in my home because it's so pretty. I love it. I think the cat, especially the details of the cat's eyes, even the cat's nose, the pumpkin on the cat's forehead, it's 10 out of 10. Cutest cleanest, prettiest render. And I think just a really beautiful adaptation of the artist's original artwork. That being said, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Have you checked out Enabler's Outpost since they started rolling out some kits with these changes? I feel like they tend to put notes on their kits, and you can look at the renderings to kind of get a sense for what those particular kits, what features they have, because I know, especially because look, Enabler's Outpost is a small business, and a lot of small businesses are like struggling right now. And so when they're trying to implement big changes like this, I have to imagine that there's a lot of it that is going to be gradual and be a transition. And so I want to make sure I'm letting you guys know that up front, also, like, both so that you kind of know to kind of look for what you're getting, and make sure you know what you're getting when you're looking at the listing for a kit. And also because I just am a huge proponent of giving small shops some grace. So I want to mention that just right up front. And like I said, I have 2 other kits from them. One that was also sent to me, and one that I purchased actually, that is a kit that I have completed by them in the past from when they had a different manufacturer or product process. And so I would like to work on that other kit soon and do a side-by-side so you can see some of the differences. And I'll tell you what, I liked a lot about what Enabler's Outpost had before. I've worked on a number of their kits and been really happy with them. But this, like I said, I just feel like takes it to that much higher of a level, and that they just did such a nice job. I love the changes that they have made. Of course, a lot of that's going to be subjective, but if you're like me and you like this kind of rendering style, and I feel like anyone is going to like nice quality materials they don't have to fight with, but if you're like me, then this is going to be right up your alley. So if you're seeing artwork that catches your eye, then I'm going to, say go for it. They're going to get my recommendation. So stay tuned for future, unboxings and whatnot from this company and some continued look at their kits. And let me know below what your thoughts are on this kit, and just if you've picked up any kits from them recently in general. Another quick note, sorry, I know I keep like adding on little tags here, but as with many small shops, I believe that most of what Enabler's Outpost has is, as of the time of this filming, made to order, which means it can have a longer turnaround time. And I don't know about you, but I'm good with waiting as long as I know what to expect. And I feel like Enabler's Outpost is really good about communicating what to expect. And so, if you're telling me what's going to happen, then I'm good. I will wait. I will be patient, especially for a nice quality product. I would recommend following them on their socials. Facebook, they have a Facebook group that I feel like is really, really helpful to be a part of and get updates and behind the scenes stuff on what's going on. I'll have that linked below along with their socials. That is, I feel like, one of the best ways to not just stay up to date, but like if you don't have any budget right now, that's a really free and fantastic way to support a small business, especially if you just want to, be able to stay in tune with what they're up to. So anyway, you guys, I'm going to let you go. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you would like to see more diamond painting videos from me. You'll see a wide variety of post reviews, which will also be linked in a post review playlist in the description of this video. You can take a look. I try to review a lot of different companies, especially when they go through changes. And you'll also see things like unboxings and weekly whip and chats and whatnot here on my channel too. So thanks again for watching, friends. Leave a thumbs up on this video on your way out if you did enjoy it, but I'm gonna let you go. Have a day and a week that's as amazing as you are, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.